Hey, I hope everyone is having an awesome day. My name is Whitney. I'm going to tell you a little about myself, why I love to travel, what got me loving to travel, and why I think I'd be a great brand ambassador for you. So, to start, I was born in Hawaii. I'm from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and my mom's from the Cayman Islands. So, at a very young age, because my dad was in the military, I started traveling a lot, as an infant. Go from Hawaii to visit his family in Fort Lauderdale to the Cayman Islands and back. So I started off flying often, and then when I was about 6, we settled in Florida, and I feel like I always knew there was more, and I wanted to travel the world and see so many things. And so I had a lot of great experiences. I would travel to different states, go to the Cayman Islands, but it was more family oriented things. And I was just like, I cannot wait till I get older when I can do all this stuff independent of anybody else. So fast forward, I graduated college and I had a friend that was a rugby player whose sister lived in London and she's South African. And we met she was on a holiday over in Fort Lauderdale visiting her brother. And we're like, oh my God, we have the same birthday, we're the same age, we both want to travel. Let's do this. So that was my first backpacking trip. We went to London, Amsterdam, Scotland for a music festival in the middle of nowhere, and Paris, and we literally had the best time of my life. And after that, I just knew. And I was lucky enough to work in sales and have a very flexible schedule, but it still wasn't quite enough, and I just needed more. And about 3 years ago, my best friend, who is a corporate recruiter in corporate America, just like me, quit her job and became a flight attendant. She wasn't happy. The money just doesn't matter how much you make or how little you make, wasn't enough to feed her soul, I guess. And we both felt the same way, and always talked about wanting to travel together and plan all these trips. So she was the guinea pig to go get the flight attendant job, and I saw her and her now husband travel the world. And I started asking her questions like, how much did that cost? Your flights were free. The discounts on hotels and things to do were amazing, shows, everything. And so I took a leap of faith one day, applied for JetBlue when the flight attendant hiring window opened, and got the job. And up until about the weekend before training started, I didn't even know if I was going to take it. I was like, this is a big risk. I'm going to make no money. But I was at the point where quality of life, and the trade-off was making good money and not being happy, or taking a big pay cut in the beginning, eventually making it, knowing I could do a side hustle and traveling the world. So I chose the latter, and here I am now. I plan so many trips with my friends. Mykonos is my favorite. This year was my 4th year. I had an entire itinerary every day, lunch, dinner, or a beach club. I made all the reservations ahead of time. I did everything on Travefy so I could share it with everyone. I even uploaded photos for every place we were going so they knew what the vibe was. And I have always been a huge planner, event planner, and leader in that sense, where I like to plan everything ahead of time. I like to figure out what's cool, what's hot, what's not. And then when I get to the trip or the vacation, I can just chill. And I have lists on lists on lists of cities that I love, especially Boston, where I live now, and where to go, what to do, if there's outdoor activities, depending on the season, what the local favorite spots are, what the best fancy restaurants are, anything and everything that you could want, pop-up beer gardens, where they're at, what's the best one. I have lists of it, so many of these lists. And because I love to travel, I'm a planner. I really want to get into travel blogging, which I have tons of blogs written. I just haven't really posted them. I do have a website that's not public yet that I want to make my travel blog into, but I think being a brand ambassador with id90 would be a big step to help me with this leap of faith into kind of putting myself out there and seeing what happens. And I do like to do vlogging and things like that. I just haven't done much of it publicly yet. So I hope to hear back from you. I think we could make a great team. I think I have a lot to offer when it comes to travel and planning and showing people the world through my eyes and what interests me in different places. And I would love to be a brand ambassador and, explore, learn, and have lots of adventures with you guys. I hope everyone has a great evening, morning, night, day, whatever the hell time it is, where you're at, and I hope to hear back from you.